Sports fans, Louis Diamond live in our Las Vegas handicapping studios, and it is Sunday Fun Day. Another exciting NFL schedule in front of us, and we are about to dissect this schedule down and do what we can to get you some winners here today in NFL football. Joined with me today is our resident handicapper, Tony Gullidge. Tony, welcome to the show this morning.
Hey, good morning, Lou. Ready to fire off some winners today. Let's cash some tickets.
Sounds exciting to me. Just on a side note, want to wish Del Warfield a speedy recovery. A little bit under the weather right now, so he should be joining us again, hopefully next weekend. So fingers crossed for Del's speedy recovery. So now let's get right to it. The first game we have on our schedule today has been put into a time change. It's going from an early game to an afternoon game. The Colts are playing the Bears. The Colts traveling to the 3-0 Chicago Bears in Soldier Field. The Colts open up a 1-point favorite, but the bettors and the wise guys were having none of that. They moved the line to 3 on the game. The total goes from 45 down to 43. Got a little bit of wind, a little bit of chilly weather in Chicago. And let's see what Tony has. Tony, you got anything to offer us on this game here today?
Yeah, I've been kind of looking for this spot. Based on the Colts being favored by 3, it's not really the high level of play I was hoping for. But I do like the Colts in this spot. I think I spoke a couple times about this. The Bears, they're 3-0. But if you look at their 3 games and their 3 opponents, it's kind of amazing they're 3-0 to me, but that's where they are. And you get the Colts coming in at 2-1 off a couple straight wins. The only real question here is, if you notice, the Colts won both their games at home. They lost their initial game at Jacksonville. They did not look good, but in spite of the appearance,
divisional game.
Yes, exactly. I was going to get to that. Yes, exactly. It was a divisional game. I think this is a good spot for the Colts. I think they're catching a Bears team that the word is overhyped a little bit. Although I'm not sure the true smart players think they're overhyped. That's why the Colts are 3-point favorites on the road at an undefeated team. I just think it's a good spot for the Colts, and I've been looking to fade the Bears. This is the spot, taking the Colts today.
A little bit of Colts action. All right. So I'm thinking maybe a small little smidgen on a Bears teaser, as I think that it just might be a little bit overpriced on Indianapolis just right now. But I am certainly not a believer in the Bears whatsoever. I don't think that they have the ability to bring much to the table. Quarterback issues. What is up with Trubisky? Will he ever make a return? Is Foles really the man that's going to take them to the promised land? A lot of questions with them 3-0 Bears. I got to kind of stay away from them, but I'll just throw them in on a small little teaser here today. All right, so our next game on the board is going to be a pretty interesting game, I think. We got the Saints are at the Lions, and the Saints, obviously, back-to-back losses. A lot of speculation. Is Drew Brees in his yesteryears? Or not in his yesteryears, is Drew Brees fading off into the sunset. Total, the game opens up at 4.56. Now it is 3 and as low as 53.5. No Michael Thomas. Is Drew Brees going to be able to rebound without Michael Thomas? What are you thinking, Tony?
Well, I really like this spot for the Saints off a couple losses. I was trying to find out the last time the Saints lost 3 consecutive games. It seems like it's been a little while. Detroit off the big win. I think I was on Detroit last week, so I was pleased to see them do well. I just think it's such a hard spot to try to beat the Saints 3 times in a row. Detroit is getting a little bit of love from the lines makers due to their straight-up win against Arizona last week. I'm just going to take a shot here. It's not a big play. Again, smaller play for me on this one, but I do think the Saints is the side to fall on, just basically because of the 2 straight-up losses in a row. I don't see them losing 3 in a row, and I think this is a good team for them to try to get the win against. So I'm playing New Orleans today.
All right. I will agree with you on that. 2 losses in a row from the Saints, and I think this is it. Detroit, big upset on the road last week. Saints got to get themselves back together, and I think this is probably their spot. So 4 points, I got to throw them in on the teaser. I am a little worried that it may be a little bit past time for these Saints to be as strong as they were. So I don't know, but I have to lean on the Saints on this game, but I can't really pull the big trigger. As far as the total is concerned, I can see why they're betting that under, but if the Saints actually gel and put something together today, and Breeze finally has that game, he's got the defensive secondary that he can actually probably weaken a little bit and exploit a little bit. So I'd be a little worried about that under just yet on them Saints games. This is the game that tells where the Saints are going this year. So don't want to bet against them just yet. All right, next game on our schedule is going to meet up with the Arizona Cardinals, traveling to the Carolina Panthers. If you've been watching, you know I'm high on Kyler Murray, and you know that I took it in the shorts with him last week. Will I jump back on his train? I'll let you know here in a second. But the game opened up 3.5 down to 3. I think it was as high as 5, actually. Now down to 3. So Panthers total is 51.5, so a touch on the over. Does Kyler Murray rebound this week, Tony?
Well, this is a tough game. I ended up not betting this game, but I think Carolina as a home underdog is always kind of interesting. I like them in this spot. They missed by a point in their home opener, okay? So they lost 34-30 to the Raiders, then went on 2 road games. A pretty ugly loss at Tampa Bay, but then they get the straight-up win as an underdog out on the West Coast against the Chargers last week. I think this is a tricky spot. I would definitely be careful laying big money against the Panthers. Arizona Cardinals as a road favorite can't be that good. I don't think they haven't had many opportunities in the past few years in this position. And just straight fading Carolina as a home underdog is tricky. This game has the feel of something that could come right down to the very end. I didn't take it. My lean would be to Carolina. What do you have on this one, Lou?
Well, I'm going to lean towards Arizona. I'm going to lean towards Arizona on a teaser, especially after last week's loss. And I just don't. I think these are 2 different caliber teams. I think the number's way too short today. I know I've been on the Kyler Murray bandwagon, and you probably want to hear something a little bit different, but why? I mean, why? I mean, the kid's got an amazing talent, and now he's playing a subpar team that just came back from an East Coast, and they beat the Chargers last week. So I think I think we're making a mistake if we don't have them tied up on a bunch of teasers. And since it's down to 3, I think it's probably a safe bet as well. So I will ride the Cardinals, but you are right. I don't know about the road favorite, but as a favorite, last 5 games, 1-4 for the Arizona Cardinals. So plus 0-4 at Carolina, 0-4 the last 4 meetings. But the favorites covered 5 out of the last 7. So home team 6-1, 6 out of the last 7. So you got a lot of trends that go your way for Carolina, but I will buck those trends today and ride Mr. Kyler Murray for the rebound with the Arizona Cardinals, but I'll mostly have it tied in with a nice teaser. All right, so next game on the board will feature my other guy, Joe Burrow. And a lot of guys are on the Joe Burrow train, but we've been on it right from the beginning. And this could be his spot for the first win. Do you see his first win coming today, Tony?
Well, if you've got about 60 seconds to humor me, I'm going to draw a correlation. All right, and Cam Newton's rookie year, 4th game, I believe it was. He got his first win as an NFL starting quarterback, and that was at home against the Jacksonville Jaguars. As 3.5-point favorites, they won a game 12-7 in an absolute driving thunderstorm where the field was a complete soup bowl. It was Blaine Gabbert was the quarterback. That was the rookie matchup in that game. Cam Newton got the win over Blaine Gabbert. I'm going to go here. I'm going to take Jacksonville to get their Cincinnati with Joe Burrow to get his initial win as an NFL starting quarterback against the same team Cam Newton got his first win against. That'll be the Jacksonville Jaguars. Yes, I like your Burrows today. I think it's a good spot to get his first win, and he's found the right team to try to beat. I like Cincinnati today. Pretty mid-level, a lot of confidence there. I do like Cincinnati.
All right, man is on Joe Burrow. Remember early in the week, I told you he was a 3-point dog. I was a little worried. I mean, a 3-point favorite. I was a little worried that the odds makers just jumped a little bit too hard on his bandwagon. Now it's down to -1.5. So the money is on the Jaguars. I'm not seeing the value of Burrow here today with one exception. No quarter. If you look at fantasy numbers, the Jacksonville Jaguars give up more points to any quarterback so far in the first 3 weeks of the season. So Burrow probably is in position today. I just have a tough time pulling a big trigger on him today because something smells to me. It's not that it's not the right play. It just kind of seems like they went too high with Burrow too fast. So, but the over could possibly have some potential. You got some pretty bad defense with Jaguars. With the Bengals and over. But Joe Burrow, I hope he gets his first win today, but I'm not going to be on his train today. The next train running is going to be the Cleveland Browns with the 1-2 punch of Chubb and Hunt in the backfield. And will they be able to drive it up the middle against the Dallas Cowboys, who have a pitiful defense? And now they're coming in as well. They were as high as 5. Cowboys now 3.5 and 4-point favorite. Too many points here, Tony? Not enough. What are you thinking?
I think it's a sharp line, somewhere in this range, a little bit over a field goal, but not much. I actually had it at 4.5 on my line. I ended up passing this game. Tough spot. The way I handicap, it's a spot for Dallas here, but I'm not in the mood to trust them right now covering a spread. I can see them pulling this game out, but it's one of those situations where it comes down to a kick in the final minute. Either way, I'm not ready to give a lot of trust to Baker Mayfield yet. I do think the Cleveland defense can keep them in this game, and it's going to be a matter of if Baker Mayfield can make plays without making mistakes. Can he get aggressive and not screw his team? It's a tough one. It's a pass for me. I can make a case for either team in this situation. If you're really trying to peg me down on it, I would side with Dallas. Just a one-toe lean, but I really think this is a tricky game.
All right. I don't see it as tricky. I think Dallas as a favorite right now is a bad decision. I think there were too many points, and still you're getting 3.5 with Cleveland, so you're getting over the critical 3. I like the underdog here. I think that they will be able to control the game with their running game, but I still got to believe in the over with this game as well, because how do you not when Dallas is involved right now? So I got to believe there's some overvalue, but I definitely believe the value is in the dog, and I think the dog may even bark outright today. And speaking of dogs that barking outright, hopefully you got yourself on that Iowa State money line yesterday and cashed that ticket with us because Iowa State sure looked great. They had the game circled, and I'm really telling you about this not to brag about yesterday's game, to kind of set you up for today's game. I have another play today that is a similar scenario in the NFL. Guys, this will be my non-conference game of the year. It's a huge play for me. I am sending it in large. The first time that I'm going real big in the NFL this year. Hopefully you'll join me. And if you do, all you have to do is text free winner to 90210, and I'm going to get you that play absolutely free. It'll be right there on a text message. It'll actually be after the show. But if you text it, I'll make sure If you text free winner to 90210, I will make sure you get my non-conference NFL game of the year today. Listen, I know it's a title. I know it's a cheesy title, but guys, I need to get you excited about a winner today. It's as simple as that. So just text free winner to 90210. I will get you a solid winner today. And I will also be right back with Tony Gullidge with plenty of more information here on Bettor Center Live.
Brad Stein here live from Las Vegas. Join us daily for Bettor Center Live with our professional handicappers, where you get sports information you can bet on. Stop gambling, start winning. Bettor Center Live.
And just like that, we are back. All right, back in our Las Vegas studios. This is Louis Diamond. I am joined by Tony Gullidge. We are talking Sunday Funday, NFL football, and let's get right down to our next game on the schedule, and that's going to feature the Minnesota Vikings. They're traveling to the Houston Texans, a couple of teams really struggling right now out of the gate. Texans open up a 4-point favorite, but there's a lot of 3.5s. And there's actually a couple 3 minus 25 and 30s out there. And the total goes from 49.5 to 54. Are you seeing some overaction here, Tony? You seeing some dog action? What are you seeing on the game?
Yeah, this was another tricky in a handicapping sense. You have two 0-3 teams. Texans haven't covered the spread. Minnesota was able to sneak one in last week in a tough home loss. Everything I typically would go with here would say to take the Texans in this spot to get the win and cover, but I'm going to flip the script. I'm putting a small play on the Vikings plus the 3.5. Just not convinced that Houston's ready to get their game in gear. I thought last week would be the week where they would improve and get a win, but it didn't happen. Now you kind of just throw your hands up in the air at this point. I agree with the Bill O'Brien. He's a dead stiff, man. The guy has opportunities to make good decisions in these games, and he's like shitting the bed as much as his players are, to be honest. I don't like what he's doing as the coach. Tough spot here, I think, for them to really pound out Minnesota. So I'm going to take the 3.5 points and just a small play here for me on the Vikings.
All right. I think there's a bigger play there with the Vikings. I think Houston, as I've been saying since day one, terrible team, going to have a bad season, going to be a good team to fade. Now, I know the Vikings haven't shown anything, but neither have Houston. In a scenario like that, I see the value in the dog. I also see value in the dog on the money line. So potential dog money line parlay round robin brewing right now with the Browns and Minnesota. A couple of dogs that happen Bark Day. So I see some value with the Vikings. The over, more than likely, but the adjustment happened, and now these numbers are really high. So you just gotta kind of wait this week out to see what happens. Usually weeks 4 and 5 are underdog weeks. I know I came there a week early last week, and we wind up, if you bet 500 on my round robin tees, you actually wind up losing 200 for the day. So it was a losing day, but this could be the week for those underdog money lines. We'll get to that in a minute. Right now, let's get to our next game on the schedule, which features the traveling Seattle Seahawks and a high potent offense with a very weak defense facing the Miami Dolphins. Dolphins, big home dog. Game opened up at 6.5. Now it's down to 5.5. So Dolphins getting the steam. Total 54 opener. Now it's 55.5. Tony, lay it out.
Wow. Seattle's offense, 38, 35, 38 points in the first 3 weeks. Really tough to bet against them, but I was able to convince myself to lay off this game. Dangerous spot as a handicapper. I mean, it just looks way too easy to take Seattle here. I'm going to avoid it, but at the same time, I'm not willing to bet against them yet. Miami got the win last week, right? 31-13 at Jacksonville on Thursday night, a game they had to win. So they've had the long week to prepare, the 10 days to prepare. I just decided to lay off. If you're going to make me lean, I'm going to lean to Seattle, but I acknowledge that in the handicapping sense, this is a good spot for the Dolphins.
Yeah, this is one of them weird spots. The 5-point favorite is usually a very poor investment. Has nothing to do with teams or anything like that, but something about that 5-point favorite doesn't do a very good job against the number. And a lot of things smell Miami today, and you got the team, Seattle putting up over 30 points a game, 3 straight games. Usually that 4th game, they don't get the offense kicking. So a lot of historic question marks, but if you're just going about looking at what you've seen the first 3 weeks, should be a dead bang over. And Seattle should put the points on the board. And Miami, they started putting some points on the board. So Fitzpatrick could easily have a very good game against this secondary. So I'm gonna have the bigger edge on the over. And it's kind of obvious. Miami is the plug your nose bet here. I won't plug my nose. I won't bet them, but I'll put a little action on the over. Now, next game on the schedule, Tony, we got the Chargers and the Bucs. Tom Brady facing a Charger team that looked great, then looked terrible. Now, how are they expected to look today in this matchup? You got some vibes on this one?
Yeah, I'm going to end up taking the Chargers. Again, kind of the lower level. This is not a huge play for me. Off the straight-up home loss, the Panthers. I still think Tampa Bay is getting a bit of the public mystique with Brady.
Sure.
I don't have the numbers. You guys are great with these trends and like specific numbers. I've got a feeling that Tampa Bay as a home favorite isn't that great. I think the bettors have put this down. I see it opened at 8, now down to 7. I actually got the Chargers at 7.5. I think it's a tough spot to try to bet on Tampa Bay to cover a number. I see a more defense. I like the Chargers defense here to keep them close. As long as Bear doesn't do what he did last week, the hesitation, the bad throws, the terrible decision-making, hopefully he has a better game this week and get more favorable condition. I don't know. I just like the Chargers here in this spot with these points. It's almost like an anti-Tampa Bay play, and you get the Chargers off the loss. I think it's a good spot for the Chargers here.
All right, a little too many points for Brady and company, who have yet to set the world on fire, at least from your perspective. And I actually started making that mistake earlier. I calling him Bear, Bobby Bear, but it is Herbert, Justin Herbert. And I made a mistake a bunch of times.
Remember Sherbert and take the S off the end. Okay, Herbert.
Right. There you go. But I think Brady winds up he gets the win here today. So I think your play is Tampa Bay on the teaser. I think that's the only way to rock on this game. He should get the win and move them down on a teaser. I'll give you some teaser plays here in the end of the show. Don't forget my non-conference NFL game of the year today. You get it free. No questions asked. All you got to do is text free winner to 90210. If you have T-Mobile, it is not available on T-Mobile. So you'll have to call the 877-711-9467 number to get it. So either text free winner to 90210 or call 877-711-9467. That's 7-Eleven wins, guys. You will win with this one today. I got this game nailed. All right. So our next game on the schedule will feature, what do we got next on the schedule here? We got the Ravens and the Redskins. And the Ravens, after their poor performance, get a chance to rebound against the lowly Redskins and Haskins, who is been atrocious. So what are you thinking here? Baltimore get the rebound today?
Yeah, I like Baltimore here. I will acknowledge you. The Redskins, these past 2 games where they've looked horrible and losses at Arizona and at Cleveland were both on the road. The only home game they played was the division game against Philadelphia. They fell behind huge. Riley got the win. So this is their second home game. Catching just a bad spot for the Redskins here to catch a Baltimore team off a beating at home. I think Baltimore is going to come in and try to reestablish their offensive prowess. I expect Jackson to have a good game. I acknowledge the Redskins on defense potentially. At the beginning of the season, you looked at their defense as possibly what would keep them in games and make them competitive. They really haven't lived up to what they needed to do to make this team a winner. I like Baltimore here just to roll them over. Something like 31-10, is not, to me, not out of the realm of possibility. I just see Baltimore being much stronger and more determined to get the win in this spot today.
All right. Yeah, Rivera's put a lot of pressure on Haskins, saying you have to show the confidence that we have in you. So he's put a lot of pressure on him today. So, but they're going to have a tough time today with probably a pretty mad Ravens ball club. So Ravens seem to be the logical thing to do here today. So, all right. Don't forget, Louis Diamond on YouTube, youtube.com/Louis Diamond. And you go to the YouTube, if you're there already, just subscribe, guys, so you can get these picks as soon as they happen. And if you're on Facebook, just subscribe to our bettorcenter.com Facebook. And let's go to the next game. I'm not going to have much of anything to say on this game. The Giants and the Rams. Rams go from 9.5 to 13.5, and the total is at 48.5. Can you offer us anything on this game besides the obvious? Giants suck and Rams are looking better?
Yeah, this is one of the games I just scratched off the list right away, man. I don't like betting against teams with no ATS, juice at all, like the Giants right now. It's just way too easy to plug against them. I ended up just passing this game. Rams, Their offense is suspicious to me right now. I'm not intrigued by what I'm seeing. So for me, this was just a straight pass. Do you have anything good to put on it?
I'll tell you what, I'm going to take a live call right now from somebody looking for a solid winner. Good afternoon. You ready for a solid winner today? Good morning, actually. Hello. I'm live. You're live, but you're not on air. But if you're ready for a solid winner, I will follow back up with you in about 10 minutes. Okay? Good luck. There we go, guys. Sorry, guys. Doing a little business. All right.
No problem at all with that, buddy. Make that money.
That's it. All right. So hopefully you'll do the same here today, guys. You see, I'll pick up the phone. I'll talk to you about this game. I'll tell you why you will win today. Call me, 877-711-9467. 877-711-WINS. Gets me live when it gets you my, what are we going to call it today? It's a game of the year, guys. It's a game of the year. I throw the tag on it, guys, because I'm just getting you excited. So don't worry about it. It's a game of the year, though. Call me. All right, Bills are at the Raiders. All right, the Bills are opening up 1.5. Now they're all the way up to 3, -25. Bills getting a lot of love. Josh Allen getting talk about MVP already. And actually, if you compare him to last year's MVP, he's crushing it. So now they come into the Raiders, who are kind of waking people up a little bit to their nonsense. And the total was from 49.5 up to 52.5 and 53. Tony, you got some vibes going here?
Wow. To be honest, I actually ended up taking Buffalo. Let's start there. Smaller play on Buffalo. The Raiders, I'm still not convinced, man. I know they're 2-1. Derek Carr is almost scary. Can we say Gruden's doing a pretty good job with them? I think he's getting the maximum.
You got to do that.
Yeah, I think he's doing the maximum job. He's getting the maximum effort out of his team. Offensively, I see potential for the Raiders. I'm still defensively. I'm not ready to give them the seal of approval yet. If Carr keeps playing good, this team is dangerous. He's got weapons. The big tight end seems to be one of his favorites, but they have speed down on the outside to open up the field. But for me, I'm going to take Buffalo here. It's a really tricky spot, I think. But after last week, they kind of blew the big lead. They were kind of fortunate to win. They had the 4th down play on the goal line where they got to me, it was like a charitable pass interference call that basically led to them winning. If you want to break it down, it came down to a ref's flag determined last week's game against the Rams after Buffalo. I think Buffalo got out so far that they just took their foot off the gas. And as we know,
they fell asleep.
Yes, if you do that, it's hard to flick that switch back on once the other team starts making their move. And that's what happened. Well, the Rams scored 4 second-half touchdowns last week. So with that said, I'm going to play Buffalo here. But it's not, keep it tempered. Maybe your teaser kind of would work in this. Find a couple of other ones. But But I think Buffalo's the right side today. Just not a huge fan of this situation.
I'm going to disagree with you here, Tony. I think the game smells. Buffalo looks too good, and the Raiders, after the big win, then getting smacked down by the Patriots, now they're coming back home. One thing that people have not mentioned yet is the Vegas flu, and I think that could have potential. The Saints may have fell into the Vegas flu on top of all their other issues. The Bills may fall to the biggest flu here today. So I think something smells with that game. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Raiders actually find a way to win this game outright. They should be able to run the ball on the Bills here today. So now we got our man in the street, Mr. Tony C. He's going to be giving us some insight on the Eagles and the 49ers, our Sunday night matchup. 49ers open up 3.5. And damn, if everybody isn't on them, I don't know how. I mean, I gave them out Monday on the teaser. So if you played my teaser on Monday and followed it through, you still got some action left with them at a great number, but all the way up to -9 in some spots, but it's certainly a strong 7.5. So what I'm going to do first, before you and I talk about this, Tony, let's hit our other Tony, our man on the streets, Tony Cusimano, up there in Santa Clara. What's happening, Tony?
See your man on the street here, and I'm back in Santa Clara, California, home of the San Francisco 49ers, Levi's Stadium. We've got the Philadelphia Eagles coming into town for Week 4 against a very hungry San Francisco 49er team. They're ready to prove themselves. They want to repeat as NFC Conference champions. What do we need to hear in this game for Philadelphia to even have a slightest of a chance to get a road victory?
Tony, I don't think they have a slightest chance today to get a road victory. I think they've proven that they don't have the capabilities. Carson Wentz, this is his. If he has any chance to pull something out, this has to be his week. I think he's just going to be facing some serious adversity. I think that the Niners, through all their adversity and their injuries, they've been playing pretty stellar ball, but against weaker ball clubs. But still, I believe the Eagles are a completely overrated team. So I felt that they've been stellar dwellers from the beginning. So I'm definitely leaning on the Niners here, but more so on the teaser. I've already got it going, but I'll probably tie up a little bit more on that. What do you think, Tony?
Interesting matchup. You know, you did mention it. The Giants, with San Francisco with their 2 wins against the Giants and the Jets. I mean, can you find a bigger pair of Can you find a bigger pair of patsies to slap around to get a couple wins against? Nick Mullins last week, 343 yards passing. Wow. Is that Joe Montana out there?
Yeah.
I mean, good Lord, right? So I think I like the Eagles here. I just think the 49ers injuries might show up a little more this week. This is definitely a hold your nose make them. I'm just going to fade the big, huge favorite with the San Francisco with their issues. I think the way they looked against 2 shitty teams is pushed this line too far. I'm going to try to cash by taking the underdog here.
All right. So, yeah, you make some arguments. You're definitely way behind the number right now. So the Niners are definitely not the bet at this high number, but there's still value in the teaser because if you still got the 7.5, all you really kind of do is got to win the game. So they'll probably win that game. So let's get to some picks here, Tony. Our most interesting pick of the day. What are we looking at?
Yeah, I thought about this, Lou. You know, I've given it some consideration. I want to make sure I give us guys a good one to go with. I'm going to do the money line parlay again, since you like these.
Nice.
Combination.
I like it.
I pieced together the 3 teams I like the most to get straight up wins this week. Let's go with New Orleans, Cincinnati, and the Indianapolis Colts. That's going to be my 3-team money line parlay as my most interesting play. The New Orleans, Detroit, Cincinnati, Burrow's getting his first home win, and I do like the Colts to give the Chicago Bears their first loss of the year. So that's my most interesting play of the day, and I cannot wait to hear what you have, Lou.
All right. I'm going to give you a dog money line parlay round robin like I did for you last Sunday. I'm not going to give you a bunch of teams, but I'm going to give you a few teams that I think the dogs will come in here today, and we've talked about it a little bit. So your first dog of the day is going to be the Cleveland Browns plus 3.5 or 4. Try to grab the money line on there. The Vikings as a nice dog plus 3.5 or 4. The Dolphins you can throw on there as a nice dog plus 5.5. And then also on the money line, I believe you can throw the Raiders in there. It's just a flyer, guys. It's not a big ticket. But if you play the money line and you round robin them, there's your big ticket. Play them small. Play lots of parlays. Put the dogs in there. And the day that you do, and it does come in, there it is. That's the way you can beat the game with the parlays. Have a lot of action. Cheaper than a movie if you do it smart. And you got a great day. So hopefully everybody has a great day here today. You take advantage of the winners we got you. Really appreciate you joining us here on Bettor Center Live. And don't forget, please subscribe on Bettor Center on Facebook or on YouTube at Louis Diamond so you can get some solid winners from us every single day. This is Louis Diamond. I'll see you again tomorrow morning with Brad Stein and the rest of the Bettor Center crew. Have a great day.